And bacon, yeah. Bacon's a bit of a weakness too, because everyone loves bacon. Alright. You can hear that sound. That means we are going into game number 2. We've got Damaga and Happy Zerg, and it's like both of the Russian streams will be watching this one, of course, because Slivko's here. I don't know where they were for game number 1, but it will be game number 2 in just a moment. Waiting for the map to load up. It is going to be a wonderful, lush jungle beach map. Is it a beach or is it a jungle, or is it both? It could be a beach jungle. A jungle beach? I don't know, that sounds a bit rude. Anyway, game number 2 starting us out here on Belshir Vestige down in the bottom left-hand side. He was able to win in the previous set, and we'll see if he's able to do something like that again. It is Slivko. And his opponent up in the top left-hand side, the Australian player who has flown all the way across the sea and across whatever other stuff is in the way. We are speaking, of course, of Exile5, Pig. Well, let's see what's going to go on this map, because this is another two-player... Oh, well, actually, yeah, I suppose... Do you consider Star Station a two-player map now with the forced cross spawns? I suppose you would, because it's not as if you have to scout a third base, or anything like a third main base position. That's a good point. Anyway, drones are going to be coming out. 3 drones for each of them, so we're not going to see any early pulls yet again. Good stuff. As I said, I would like to see Pig play a little bit more of a standard game here. He is very, very good at those standard games. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. So I'm just reading some of the chats. Breadfan just saying yes because there are still 4 possible spawn locations, but it's not really 4 possible spawn locations if you cross spawn on, if you force cross spawns on Star Station, because there's only one possible place they can spawn. Anyway, enough about that. We've got a spawning pool on the way for both players. They are going to head down towards their natural as well. We can see that Slivko and Pig just setting them down at roughly the same time. Pig's spawning pool was just a bare second behind Slivko's. I'm not sure if that was a little bit to do with his drone pairing, his worker pairing on the minerals or anything like that, but either way, he's just a tiny bit behind. Not really a huge deal here. As we can see, the spawning pools will now pop up. Both players will go to a queen. They'll get a maybe 2, maybe 4 lings out right at the start. Normally what you'll see is just 2 to make sure that you are safe against any early sorts of shenanigans that could come across the map. But in this stage, Pig scouting out that his opponent does have the natural. You can see the time there, how far along that is. In terms of obviously the health, you can recognize that once you've played quite a lot of the game. He's now going to just have a quick peek in here. What Pig is going to try and look for is that gas. And as we can see, yeah, he scouts it out and he sort of comes in this direction and then says, is that gas there? No, it's not. All right, so either he possibly has the one gas up at this position, or he either or the other option is that he has none. So he will be able to recognize what's going on here. Just standard sort of stuff. It looks like Pig is going to continue to drone up quite heavily. A queen now on her way down towards the natural, and once she moves across, she's going to be able to help out with injects and all that kind of stuff. Pig nicely defending the ramp there. I did like that. Slivko attempting to get inside to scout out what's going on. He has, I don't think he's seen, no, he hasn't seen anything that was inside Pig's main base, so he's not aware of what's going on. Some drones will transfer down towards the natural here, and they're going to get started on some mining. So everything is proceeding very, very economically at this point from these two players, and Slivko is going to be the first one to throw down a little bit of a defensive spine here. Some players do like to do that when they don't recognize what's going on inside their opponent's main base. It's a very safe way to play it, but Pig is going to go for his own little bit of a difference here with 2 gases down inside the main. We've now got some more drones just popping out. Another queen has also come out from Pig as well. So he's up to a total of 3 queens. Slivko, very similar in the queen count as well. He's got just the one on the ramp here, just as a possible way to defend this ramp. You throw down 2 queens here, and then lings cannot get inside. So it's always good to be prepared for that kind of thing, because in this, in this day and age in Zerg versus Zerg, where things can be very very sort of different to what they used to be. Of course, I know some of the Zerg players in the chat will be reminiscent of the times when it was a magical matchup where you would only ever go Mutalisks, which has started to change a little bit recently. We get to see things such as this, a double Evo chamber with a Roach Warren. Some players will like to go for much more a simple, little bit Wings of Liberty-esque kind of ground style involving Roaches and Hydras and this kind of thing. Pig is going to go for, again, a very similar sort of play as well. He does have the Lair on the way, so he's going to, it looks as if he is going to go do some Roaches as well, or perhaps, well, yeah, I don't think he'd just go straight to Hydras. That wouldn't make any sense at all, but it looks as if he is going to go up to the Lair. Slivko doing the similar sort of thing as well, just a little bit behind though, and Pig actually going to go for Burrows. So we're going to have a possible Roach Burrow play coming out of Pig here. 1-1 timing, that can be something which is quite deadly to deal with. We did see TLO doing something very similar to that yesterday. And Slivko will have to be prepared because that can be quite frustrating to deal with. So both players going up to their Roach Warrens are going to get started on the Roach production. 1-1 is also on the way, and a third base is now being placed by Slivko. So Pig is looking for what I would assume is a 2-base 1-1 Roach timing. We're going to have that Burrow added in as well. And if it, well, actually, he's going to take a third as well. So he's going. I would say he's still going to want to look towards getting a little bit of a Roach attack going. But it looks like both players very just similar in the way that they're playing here. But Pig will have a tiny little advantage with his Burrow movement on the way. He's also gotten started on his Roach speed a tiny bit quicker than Slivko, just due to the fact that Pig did have his Lair already in operation. So Pig will get started with some of these Roaches. There are 6 on the way. Slivko doing something very similar as well. He's got his own Roaches now, just popping out, just preparing for this normal sort of timing. Around about sort of the 9 minutes and a little bit further than that is when you want to be looking for possible attacks coming across the map. So Slivko has a little bit of vision around here. He's got some overlords that are just spreading through the right-hand side of the map. He does have one on the left here as well, keeping an eye on what's going on, and both the players will start to really mass up these Roaches. We can see that Pig is now up to a total of 14 Roaches, and he has some creep spread going here. It's really interesting to see people that go for that creep spread really quickly, but Pig, this is just going to be a little bit of a fake push here. He may want to try and get some damage done on that third hatch, but what he really wants to do is force out some units from Slivko, and that is exactly what he's doing. We've got 9 Roaches on the way from Slivko. He already has a decent count, like he's already got 19 or so, but this is buying Pig some time to set up his third base, get his drone count a little bit higher. We can see that the drone count from these players is sitting at 57 to 52, so Pig has taken a little bit of a lead right now, just because he's forced some units out of his opponent and bought himself some time to drone up. So things looking reasonable here for Pig. I mean, he's not too badly off. He's got 2-2 on the way. We've got 2 and assumably 2 for Slivko in a moment as well. But Slivko is going to have a slightly higher Roach count for just a moment here. We've got 26 to 25. There are a few extra Roaches, but we cannot count out the fact that Pig has Burrow. If he can utilize the Burrow on his Roaches, then he may be able to make a much more efficient battle out of this, despite possibly having a little bit of a smaller Roach count. So we'll keep an eye on that. Pig is just continuing to get his economy into a good shape. Slivko doing the exact same thing with gases 5 and 6 now completed the third base. Slivko looking to attack in towards the third base. Snipes a queen down. That girl is down and out, and that is really unfortunate for Pig losing that queen. He still has 2 queens out of the map, so it's not as if all is lost, but he will need to, I would like to see him, yeah, he's going to get another queen out. He's going to drone up behind this, 12 drones on the way, and if he can get those drones out and keep his economy in a really safe position, he'll be in a very nice spot, because his Hydra Den is also just on the way. Slivko already has his Hydra Den. It's back inside the main base. He's just finished up his Groove Spine, so Slivko about to get groovy on his side of the map. And Pig, well, he's playing a little bit of catch-up when it comes to the Hydra Tech, but other than that, he does have his 2-2 just about to finish up, whereas our Russian Zerg player is just going to have the 1-1 with his +2 just about to complete. So I'm a little bit surprised. Yeah, there it is. I'm not sure if Slivko did this intentionally, because he did get his Hydra Den out quicker. He got, oh, sorry, Groove Spines is actually starting now. I actually Must have misread what was going on there, but he did get his Hydra Tech out a little bit quicker than Pig, so he will have that slight advantage of having a few more Hydras out on the map, but his +2 to Carapace is going to be very far behind here for Slivko, and we'll see how much that factors into this game, because Pig is now about to identify. There is a 4th base attempt here from Slivko. This could go into a pretty long macro game here. If both of these players look to try and take their 4th bases, it's going to be a very long game, I would say, because we are still waiting for anyone to actually put up a bit of a fight right now. Pig gonna do a little bit of a run by with these roaches here. Looks to try and dive inside the natural base in the main, but no joy with that one. Blocked out by the roaches and the hydras. Slivko has got his roach movement speed. He's got his hydra movement speed just about to come up as well. And once he gets all of that operational, he'll be looking pretty decent with this army. But Pig also has some decent upgrades out. His muscular augments on the way. He has a total of 26 Hydras are now out for Pig, so he is looking quite handsome with that count of Hydras, and we will get an engagement here just outside the 3rd base of Pig. Looks like the unit count is going to favor Pig for the most part here. 18 Hydras still out on the map for him. Some of Slivko's Hydras are actually very far behind this battle. They're now finally catching up. Pig marching up his way towards the top of the ramp here. And looks like Pig is going to take a very nice lead here in the unit count. That is really going to put a big thorn in the side of Slivko right now. Pig going to remax on roaches and hydras and then march his way across the map. With his 2-2 sort of in operation for all of these units. A couple of roaches have burrowed their way inside the natural as well. Slivko's rushing to get an Overseer up and running. In fact, he does have one just over here. And Pig looking like he has a very strong position in this game. 191 supply. Slivko trying to get that 4th base up, but I mean, with the harassment from Pig and the extra little advantage that he has with Burrow that Slivko does not have, Pig should be able to take a very strong lead in this game, and if not, just finish the game right here, right now, because his roaches and hydras pushing forward, taking out the 4th base. He is now possibly going to just march straight into the 3rd, and if he can at least just kill off the army, game's over. If he kills off the hatchery and some of these drones, game is still also over. Really good concave here from Pig, firing from all sides, and we can see that he takes a massive lead here. GG from Slivko. And Pig takes game number 2.